Hello, hello. Good evening. Welcome to every Wednesdays. We have DeFi Wednesdays that's coming to you live in Singapore, and every week we will talk about crypto stuff, degenerate stuff, DeFi movement, cryptocurrencies, and things like that. So our main focus for this web channel is to talk specifically about Bitcoin and its current cryptocurrencies. And every week we will be actually talking about all the different aspects of what the industry is doing. So without further ado, I will introduce my fellow coffee drinkers. This came about because as with every week, I mentioned this many times, if we miss the days when we can go for crypto conferences and because of that, we are missing our coffee sessions with our crypto buddies and crypto friends around the world. And so, without further ado, I'm going to introduce to you all across the world actually for today. None other than our regular degenerate on the show, Mr. Steve Good.
Howdy, how are you?
Yeah, Steve, where are you from? In Europe, right? You're coming live to us from Europe, right?
Yeah, I'm in Europe. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Under the sea.
exactly. And next up we have John from across the straits and is in Malaysia, right? So John,
yeah, thanks, I see.
Yeah, and last but not least, Dunstan, our shit stirrer, official shit stirrer in our channel. We will be joined by Adele later when she comes in. And so without further ado, why don't you guys do a quick introduction for our new listeners who's listening today? John, you want to go first?
Oh, sure. Yeah, so thanks for having me back again. It's been a little while. I've been following you guys. I watch pretty much every episode, so I've been entertained many times by Steve. I feel like he's my friend already, but I'm glad to meet him finally.
Thank you. Nice to meet you.
I know all about your book, so we don't have to cover that bit. Of course, you can.
Or Dunny's book for that matter.
Yeah. Oh, I'm looking for that one in the library every day.
That's show him the link. Show us the link. It's on Amazon.
Yeah, I don't have a link, man.
Yeah,
send me that.
Just figure. Yeah, but there's no link though. Yeah, I know it's on Amazon somewhere.
Dunstan showed me his book the very first time I met him back in KL. Yeah, so I'm back in KL. I work for Synergy, which is one of the 3 regulated digital asset exchanges in Malaysia, and I'm currently living here and happy in KL.
You guys just went through going through another what do you call it? Another close down as well, right?
Pardon?
Yeah, you guys are going through another second round, right? Basically for a shutdown, right? In KL.
Oh, CMCO, yeah. Thailand just extended to the new year. I think it's pretty standard. We travel. Penang it's in Penang as well now, and it's CMCO, so it's kind of like I don't know what. I mean, if you're in London, it would be like a tier 2 or something, or a tier 3. I don't know. But I mean, pretty much all businesses are open. So I mean, life goes on, but I mean, social distancing and various different rules, and mask all the time. And get on with it.
Yep. Sorry, man. Dunstan, this is the link, man. I found it, but apparently it's Alvin Chung, which is your co-writer. So Dunstan's name is not even there, but he is a co-writer as well. So yeah, so
Dunstan,
you guys
you need to add your author profile on Amazon, and then it will show up.
Right, you know how lazy I am, right?
That's the
mask
it's not
on.
of consent in. Yeah, it's not of consent.
Yeah. I really don't bother too much, man.
Oh, are we doing masks now? I've got mine ready.
Yeah. It's interesting, man. Yeah. So this, with regards to Steve, why don't you make your introduction as well?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, my background was in fintech for nearly 20 years, working in the financial services technology space, mostly in software and services, working with the biggest of the banks like JP Morgan, Deutsche Bank, and the rest. And to be honest, I just got sick of the corporate stuff and felt we needed something a bit more degenerative to get involved with that would actually shape and change the world. So I left all of that behind and got into crypto at the end of 2016. So now, I mean, the great thing about being in the world of DeFi is there's a lot of interesting overlap between what goes on in the quote unquote real world and what we're building now in the DeFi world. But we can take advantage of the lessons learned, the things that work, the things that don't, the fees that are too high, the negative interest rates that banks charge, and we can do it smarter and better and in a more decentralized way. So that's why I'm a regular DGen.
Welcome to the show.
Plus, of course,
bro.
I wrote a book about how to get started in Bitcoin that John mentioned, so I won't have to mention it today.
Left behind, right? Yeah. Why don't you show your link? Man?
I don't have the. I can send you the link. I don't have the book in front of me though, because my son decided he wants to read it, and he's only 6.
Wow,
He's
good. It starts early, man.
Yeah, I mean, both my boys know about Bitcoin. I did a video with them when they were 3 and 5, which is up on my YouTube channel, which is really funny to watch because they're like, you know, their version of Bitcoin at 3 and 5 is really like real. It's not like made up, you know, actor crap. It's the real stuff. So
yeah, children's always the best, man.
Yeah.
Colbert, Adele's coming in later, so yeah, you can chase her in our chat group. Asking about where's Adele. Seems like she's got fans, man. Yeah. And Dunstan, why do you just do a quick introduction? Obviously, we know about your book now, so thank you for being on the show for the past few months already, basically. Yeah, so well, take it away.
Well, a bit about myself would be I'm an old guard in the space. You call us the original gangsters. It's kind of easier to figure out what I do by Googling me or like having a chat with me privately. Please Google me so my ratings will go up on Google.
They cannot Google you with Danny the shit stirrer. It will never happen.
Yeah, just Google Dunstan Teo, then I'll be there on first page. But if you Google Dunstan, I should happen on the second or third page. So yeah, it's not too bad actually.
Yeah, Colbert, thanks for joining in. As per normal,
thanks, bro.
You know, our Malaysian brother across the street, the river.
When he's less shy, he should come and join us, man.
He did it once with us. He only wanted to tell people about how to, you know, prevent people from the MetaMask, and that was a very good tip, actually, Colbert. For those who have not watched the previous episodes, you can go and search one where that Colbert has, shown us, how to actually stop people from or preventing your MetaMask from interacting with any other websites that's available. So that's critical. That's very critical in the DeFi space, guys. Yes. So, see, Dunstan, you're being searched on Google now. No, it's not done. It's the spelling is wrong, Wendy. Yeah, let me just give you the actual one. See.
Yeah, thank you so much for searching. Thank you.
Yeah, this is the actual one. Okay.
Can you not write? Can you not write up a bot to just?
I think we should rename you to Dunstan Tao, right? Because then you'd be like, but also Tao and the word Tao and the word DAO are actually the same meaning. So he could be like Dunstan, the decentralized autonomous organization, but spelled with a T instead of a D.
Well, you're predicting, bro. Yeah, you do know what I do. You're predicting. You do know what I do in the space. So yeah.
I don't need to know.
Yeah. Now he's trying to say he don't want to know, and he doesn't know.
We don't want to know.
I don't want to know. I want to keep my coin safe and keep myself safe. That's all there is to it.
Okay, so Kevin, Steve doesn't know any shit. So yeah.
Not that I'm going to put on not that I put out in public.
I'm going to send a chaser to Adele and see if she's going to be in or not. So why don't you guys just go on, chit chatting? We wanted to talk about Bitcoin's pricing, right? So, Steve, why don't you take it away? With sharing your screen and sharing with us on Bitcoin's parabolic growth actually. I think most of us has been watching the charts quite actively. Let me share my screen on CoinGecko. At this point of time, we've just breached $18,000 USD. So this is a 24-hour chart. This is a 7-hour chart, 14-hour chart. So we are progressing quite parabolically, and I'll leave the rest of the comments to my fellow panelists to actually talk more about it. John has something to share as well. So Steve, you've got the first round. Yeah.
Okay, so I've got the 15-minute chart up because I think what's interesting to look at is how do you trade in this market? Because when you're in I'll just put up the day minute for a minute. When you're looking at the day chart and it's like going like that straight up in a line, it's really hard to do any kind of entry and exit trade because you don't know when it's going to pump or when it's going to dump. And if you just think it's going to keep pumping, don't kid yourself because these things never just go straight line up. So I started doing a little bit of really weird analysis on 15-minute charts. And I'm going to show you guys something that's just absolutely crazy. And I think I encourage people to try it out and play with this. So I've got a little circle here and it goes up, right? You see this sell off and then pump. It happens to occur at 6:45 in the morning in Europe. So what time is that? 7, 8, 9, 10. That's around 1:45 in the afternoon Singapore time. Okay, that was today. Let me show you yesterday. Not as much, but a little dip and then a pump. 1:45 in the morning and the 1:45 in the afternoon. The day before that, you'd entered it at that time and then exited at the top again. Same. Day before that, same. I mean, I could go on and on. This goes back like for days. It's incredible that you can actually enter at 1:45 in the afternoon. Look at that right there. Same thing. Incredible. Look at this. It dips right down here. It actually was a little bit early. It was at 1:15 in the afternoon. But if you saw this and you saw the wick down is always a really good indication it's going to turn right back around. Wick down, you enter it's 1:30 rather than 1:45, and then it pops. It's like, that's just, I mean, something's going on if people are trading at exactly around 1:30, 1:45 every day Singapore time. But equally, what's also really interesting is if you then look at the next drop and then move up, look at this, 11 o'clock in the morning my time. So that's just like, a couple hours later.
Yeah.
Between 8 and 9 o'clock at night. Right in here, pumps.
That's flat. Yeah. Boom.
I do the same thing again today. If I picked it up around 11 o'clock this morning, got it around here, pumped. In fact, it did a double pump. Right? So there's some really weird, cool patterns that if you really hunt and look for stuff and you look for times, traders are trading at specific times, doing certain things, and sometimes bots pick stuff up. So you just got to look for it. But that's just one of the more kind of cool things I spotted. I mean, the other thing that's really interesting, if you look at the day chart, is the hash of Bitcoin hashing. And the hash rate dropped right around here when it started to pump. I think the miners literally turned off some of their mining equipment so that they could make more money because, because we have this little mini capitulation or, a drop in hash rate, and it just continues to go. This is on a 30 versus 90-day line. Most people use 30-60, but I think 90 gives you better because it's longer versus shorter. So it's more to play with in terms of data. Yeah. So I think it's rather interesting that this capitulation took place right in here, right before it took off and really pumped all the way up. So, interesting thing. But, if you look at the Bitcoin price action and the amount of money flow that's moving in, I mean, you can see how it dipped in here and then it just continued to move up like this. And if you look back at previous bull runs of any sort, whether it was the one in June of 2019, so last year, June, when it pumped to 13.8, it was the same kind of thing. And what you'll see is that suddenly you'll get this big movement of like these big blue or green waves of money flow that just kind of float along up here at the top and they just kind of float along like this. So it's great to see that kind of thing because it shows you that there's money moving in and a lot of action going on. But we have to be careful because, of course, when it goes parabolic, it's always going to have to come back down. And as Dunny and I said previously, we were targeting 13.2 as kind of the price target where we thought would be an entry point. So the further it gets away, the better the short position, the short game is. So, you really have to keep an eye on what's going on in the market. But that's just a quick summary of what I'm seeing. There's tons more to talk about, but you have any questions, I can answer questions before I pass.
I mean, it's crazy, isn't it? So, John, you have anything to share? You want to share your screen?
Yeah, I mean, hang on a minute.
John, if John's from the exchange itself, we might provide. He might provide some insights from the exchange itself. So who knows, right? We're like rubbing hands now. Like, oh, okay, let's just see. You know, we need Adele's magic ball, basically. You need to share your screen, bro, before I can check. Before I can allow it. Oh, while waiting, this is actually Steve's book. You guys can actually take a look. Be Left Behind, or rather, not left behind.
Correct. It's the psychology of it, because you know when you say to people the book's called Be Left Behind, what's the natural question everyone says is, why is it called Be Left Behind? Why don't you call it Do Not Be Left Behind? And I say, well, that's exactly the point, isn't it?
Yeah.
I get an emotional reaction.
Yeah. John, that's your chart, right? So
can you see my screen?
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, I don't have a lot more to add onto what Steve has really put out there. I mean, like, but you know, let's try and get some perspective.
Looking at that parabolic growth is crazy, man. I mean, that's just going in this direction, man.
I mean, you can see the MACD. I mean, like the momentum started, you know, sort of turning back in early September. We had the Pumptober that Dunstan promised us ahead of time, and
it came a little bit late. He's more like a prophet now, isn't he?
He's like the crypto god that you need to pray to.
Dunny the prophet, not Dunny the shitster.
DeFi Wednesday listeners got it early enough to act.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but
so if you guys have been tuning in and you've been hearing it, so this doesn't come as a surprise to us. The only thing that's surprising to us is how far can Bitcoin's price go. So that's probably the next question I'm going to ask you guys. But John, please go ahead and continue. You know, I love the chance of looking at how green it is.
Yeah.
At this point,
I mean, this chart is connected to my DMI indicator, so that's why you see a lot of green bars and a few red. But it kind of helps see trends and stuff. But I mean, obviously we got a lot of green. It's gone parabolic. I mean, we had 17K on the 17th, and then 18K on the 18th. I mean, I guess in many respects, it's hard to say whether this keeps going, but I think we have to take a breather before we like really breach the all-time high. Like if we zoom out a bit here, we're very close, as you can see. Right?
Yeah.
You know, it's also interesting if you look at that, John. You got this big W formation going on there, which is also not
win.
Yeah, but with the W's, it's like there you've got your first one at the 20K, then you've got your next one at 13.8, and now we're over here at the 18 point. If we don't break, this is almost the kind of textbook. If you don't break above the 20,000 high, then you're facing a big fall for sure, because that's what happens.
Yeah.
And if you do break above, then it's going to break out to 25K. That's
Yeah, I mean,
not think 25 is the right number, but
I mean, excuse my freehand, but I mean, I kind of sort of expect to see it sort of come down here first, and then maybe we stop around the high, and then we chop again, and then I mean, who knows? This could come back down here, and then it will take time to work itself out. But I mean, when it goes parabolic like that, like we have here, this took a long time to sort of stuff out, you know what I mean? After that, right?
Yeah.
So it's always dangerous to FOMO in hard if you're coming to the party late. But it does look like we're going to see these highs breached. I mean, we already did it. I mean, I wasn't intending on sharing the chart, but I mean, I did have some articles. I mean, we have reached the all-time high market cap, right? 330 billion, I think. Because of the 2020 all-time high market was at a lower supply. So We're a bit lower than the all-time high, but we're already at a higher market cap. So it's pretty strong. I mean, obviously, you know, the reasons, you know, you have PayPal, you've got your Michael Saylors and the like, you know, and a lot of the big institutional players, at least talking about it in the media. The other thing I quite interesting is like CME volume is really strong.
CME, as in
CME,
Chicago. Oh wow.
Mercantile exchange.
Yeah. The futures volume is like it's what, you know, it's right up there now, and you know, you've got the report, which is the analysis of the futures traders, and so you're seeing real, whether or not you call them institutions, but people that trade the real, you know, the actual top level financial products. So banks, hedge funds, institutions, actively getting involved in the CME futures. So
Right.
it's quite interesting. It's quite interesting.
Dunstan, your thoughts, since we are doing a bit of TA, obviously yours is not TA, yours is more on the fundamental side of things.
He does DA for Dunstan Analytics.
I mean, like, I admire people.
You just gave out a call on your social media, right? So you want to talk a bit on that? These days, I'm looking at his social media, and he's like, "Damn, this guy is like doing something now." Shit. Yeah. Any tips for us? I mean, this is good to see, good to share with everyone, to, you know, for everyone's benefit, right? If it comes to pass. Oh, before that, I forgot about this. The disclaimer, yes, for you guys who are watching this, whatever we say, you know, among all of us, you know, please, guys, this is not financial advice. This is just opinions from us. You shouldn't take this as a financial advice. You should be looking at your own financial advisors and doing your own due diligence before even coming, you know, on board to. With regards to the cryptocurrencies, cryptocurrencies is high risk. In my own words, if you cannot afford to lose, don't come into this game and don't play in this
Or
field.
just hodl.
Yeah, you can just buy and hold. Yes, that's right. Yeah. So Dunstan, back to you. Sorry, man. Yeah.
Okay. So what's the question?
What's your thoughts on the current? You know, they are talking about the TAs on the Bitcoin's parabolic growth. You know, what's share with us your crystal ball, man. Rub the whatever you need to do,
rub
man.
the hair, right? So I like I say, I really respect people who could read the charts. I can't, which is why I have I run a group of traders. They read the charts for me. What I do is I provide the FA, the fundamental analysis. I provide information. I let people understand things, information that's not on Google, that's found in private networks and so on. So that's my main part. So what I generally focus on is this, because I can't read these charts. So I generally have to me, it feels like a gut feel after receiving enough information. And then I come up with a price number based on that gut feel. So yeah,
Old school.
yeah. So that's how it works for me. Yeah. So which is why, right? Like Pumptober is a gut feel. November, although people say that it's not gonna happen. Well, my odds pump, my backs pump, and we sold, so it happened. So. Yeah. So and this pump, right, is from what I'm gonna say is a syndicated pump. So
Better math, man, bro.
yeah, well, it's an institutionalized syndicated pump. In this case, right, I don't need to wear a mask because I mean, whoever is in the market, they can see the graphs. They would understand that you know what I'm saying. It's no longer retail FOMOing. Although I keep telling and answering people that it's people FOMOing. But that's because I kind of don't want to give out too much information. There's no awesome benefit to me, so no point, right? Yeah. So yeah, so with this new institutionalized interest that's coming out in cryptocurrencies, right? Especially Bitcoin, right? Remember one thing though, they are gonna tell you that this thing is not worth anything. This thing is not value, because now they want it. It's as simple as it is. Yeah,
But they're doing the opposite at this point of time.
yeah. I mean, I was also in a I was in a Zoom with Sawyer, and you know, there's just so many interesting things that you hear the man say, man. He's a legend. Yeah. And he's now, I myself see him as the #1 spokesman for Bitcoin. Yeah,
Really?
yeah, pretty well. That's my own personal opinion. He totally understands what's going on. He understands the traditional market. He understands as an investor, and he understands that this is a new asset that has literally changed his role, and it's going to change the world. So to him, right, he's like one of the best speakers of it. He can articulate things about Bitcoin that none of us in the Bitcoin space were able to articulate, because he represents another part of the industry. So
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
So this is something to take note. I put his link on my Facebook also, so please check out that link.
What's his name again? Maybe share. Can you maybe just private message to us? I will just share the comments so that people can see this. And we are joined by Adele. She finally made it back home. Are you ready, Adele? Yeah, she looks like she is. All right, cool. Yeah, she was rushing back home. Yeah, and then she was like, "Okay, hey guys, we're gonna come," and yeah, she's just gonna come by. We've been talking about Bitcoin's parabolic growth. If you have not been catching on, so
and I heard the important part because I saw that post on Dunstan's Facebook.
See, everyone's looking at this post.
Yeah, which post?
Yeah, the one that says your
MicroStrategy CEO.
Selling and buying at the same time. So yeah.
Saylor, Michael Saylor.
Yeah, Michael Saylor. Yes, yeah, correct. From MicroStrategy. Saylor. Oops, my spelling is wrong. Sorry, Michael. Yeah, I don't think you can spell Teo. So yeah.
By the way, Leslie, somebody was asking where the charts were from, and it was on tradingview.com, just in case.
Same here.
TradingView. Where was the chart? Am I missing something? Oh, here. Where's the Bitcoin chart from? Yeah, from TradingView.
Yeah, it's from TradingView.
Right.
And the instruments that I'm using in particular are from a company called Market Cipher.
Yep. Steve's probably going to do something with us on the trading side. We've been talking about it. So if you guys are interested, Adele, we're supposed to do that. So let's try to get that. Yeah. So the next thing is let me get a name correct. It's Michael Saylor.
Michael Saylor.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's the guy that put what's the number? What's the current number?
I think $200 million worth of USD.
Wow.
200. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. In two tranches, right? MicroStrategy they have 38,250 BTC. So,
John, you're getting all the information, man.
So, which is why he's trying to FOMO everyone to come in, right? That was that large amount of BTC, man.
$200 million was the first tranche. His basis price is $425 million, and so he's about 700 million. So he made $300 million in like less than a year. He looks like a genius.
Yeah.
He listened to Dunstan and pumped over. That's why.
Guys. If it's one thing that I've learned, right? When we started the show. If you look at Danny's background, I'm giving you him the solo layout now. You can look at the number of toys behind his shelves. It grows incrementally. guys. So you guys know that when it's good times, when the price of Bitcoin goes up, you can see the amount of toys increase. So every show we see, he gets a new toys, goes up onto his shelf. That's as degenerate as it gets.
Yeah, for every trade that we win, I buy a new toy, right?
Yeah. So if you guys want to listen to that moment, I'm in a club moment, I'm like, okay, I'm going to predict the price is just going to be at this price. Look at the amount of toys behind. If he's starting lose the amount of toys behind, then that's when he's not doing so well. Yeah.
So
yeah. But here's the interesting thing, guys. In the past few days, we have been hearing the main news, like the mainstream media posting up on a lot of things about Bitcoin and things like that. So on my screen, I'm going to just quickly share. If you can see over here, Citibank just made this call, this numbers, this call, I think 2 days ago. So as with Adele, this is the reason why I cannot give you an agenda for from last week. Who would have thought that Citibank would have made an announcement 2 days ago, right? So I can only prep this on the day itself, and we can only talk about news that, or rather, we want to talk about news that's actually more prevalent. And so Citibank never did make mention about 300K by next year, December. I don't know where they pluck the numbers from. We might want to ask John on this.
Let's see if the article stays up and their analysis stays up for more than a few days as well. Because remember what happened last time with, what was it, DBS, right? So they post it out and then they take it down and you've got to go to the Wayback Machine to find it.
Oh, because the moment they post something out, right, the industry is just gonna slam them for giving us too much fake, and now they want to come in and do whatever stuff they want to do. So bugger off, man.
I mean, seriously, man. And then there you go. You have PayPal coming in and saying that they are going to process crypto millions. I think they have just started only a few days ago, basically, right? So, interestingly enough, I think when PayPal announced this, I think they were preparing actually to buy Bitcoins or something like that, or they already had Bitcoins. And when people started to come in and when they open up, I think the actual dates is here. So it's only on the 2nd of November that they actually started to put in and increase the value of crypto assets purchasing limits to 15,000 per person. Oh, that sucks, man. Yeah, one person can only buy one Bitcoin. Is that what you're saying?
But you didn't even buy the Bitcoin, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't take out the Bitcoin.
It's in their wallet.
Yeah,
it's pretend.
Yeah, even if you sell, right, it's not, you can't get back in BTC. You can't take the BTC out of their wallet. So you don't ever own the Bitcoin. What you did was you own a digital representative of Bitcoin. Well,
right.
I think that's the most degenerate you can get already.
That's what Revolut's been doing for the last 3 years.
They have,
It's nothing new. It's just PayPal's copying Revolut, but it took them 3 years to get around to it.
Since we're on this topic, right? Regulation-wise, is it stated that each person can only make purchases up to 15 to 20,000? John, you're in the compliance. Yeah, I want to ask this to John because John, you're in the compliance, right? So for Synergy Exchange, what's the limit like in Malaysia?
Off the top of my head, I'm not quite sure. I mean, the $20,000 limit, obviously, it's only US eligible customers.
Right.
But me, I think it's something like I'd have to look it up. I'll have to come back to you on that. I can't remember.
Right. No worries, man.
But I mean, you the monthly limits are like there's no real cap. I mean, that's why that's this, like, to be honest with you, it's like the unspoken secret. I mean, there's no like
I think I need to buy John a mask. He seems like he's stuck.
No, I mean It's no. I mean, there's nothing wrong. I mean, it's like the crypto industry in general. That there's no. I mean, unless you're transferring like funds across border, there's no real cap to what you can plow into it. Right.
Right.
To be frank, I mean, like the more you do, the more tax you're going to have to pay eventually, right? So that's
only upon the monies that you have been paid taxes for to buy Bitcoin. You shouldn't be taxed on buying.
Once tax rules come in, which I'm sure they will eventually,
right.
Then you will have to pay tax. But right now, it's anything kind of goes. But the moment you start transferring funds across border, then that's when we have issues because we're in a capital country.
But
so even actually, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah. Are we even transferring funds overseas? We are not. I mean, this Bitcoin. The Bitcoin didn't leave the bloody blockchain.
Correct. Which is everywhere.
Yeah.
Which is everywhere.
That's hilarious. It's everywhere at once, so it didn't go anywhere.
Yeah. So it's
Dunstan's in the house, man.
Oh my God, that's so true, Dunstan. I love the way you put that. You know, you're not transferring funds.
Yeah, you don't own the Bitcoin.
Keys.
Yeah, you don't own the Bitcoin. I mean, nobody owns Bitcoin. So yeah, so I mean, if only I was a lawyer, man, then
then you wouldn't be allowed to say anything, Dunstan.
Yeah, that's true, man.
You can't wear the mask and be a lawyer still, you know that, right? Yeah.
I do agree with you, Dunstan. I mean, like when you're transferring fiat, right? That's where you get hurt by compliance limits.
Correct.
I think while I think you have a great argument in terms of blockchain and
side,
funds actually being transferred, like unfortunately the regulators will definitely want to see it differently.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I mean, anything that they can tax, anything that they can take money out from, anything that they can say that they are protecting the layman, but actually they are just finding the companies. So nobody gets protected. Only their pockets are being lined. So yeah, of course, it's a good business model. Maybe I should become regulated too, man.
You gotta buy your own island, man, bro.
Maybe a country itself, right? Yeah, wait till we liquidate our bitcoins, man.
Yeah, man.
What you want to call it, Dummy Island, like for pirates or something?
Yeah, pirates of the Caribbean, right?
It could be like a Vatican City like structure, right? Yeah.
Vatican City. You're gonna have like jesters that are guarding your fortress, or what?
Oh gosh.
Hey, Adele wanted to know about the moon, right? The full moons and the new moons.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, remember last week we were talking. I was just about to say that basically. Adele's been quiet, but yeah, we are. Steve's making good on his promise and is following up on what you have. He's talked about last week. Yeah, so
TradingView has an indicator for that.
Yeah, where's the crystal ball, man?
Cycle.
I've got it right here.
You need to rub the crystal ball, right? Yeah.
Well, this month's new moon happened on the 15th.
So
here's your moon.
That's the new Scorpio moon, right? And
no way, Steve! You actually made it up, man.
Oh. Yeah, I pulled it in. It's an indicator. You can pull it in.
You can get it up
and an indicator.
Oh God!
So the top ones are the new moons. The bottom ones are the full moons, and the theory goes that the full moons are basically bottoms, like here, and if you look at this, you go from full moon to new moon, from full moon to new moon, from full moon to new moon, just about, and then you go from full moon to new moon. It's a pattern.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's really, you might not quite get it in the right place, but even if you go from there to there, or even just to here someplace, you still get some sort of movement. So yeah, that's your full moon to new moon. So yes, it does have some pattern of working, but you got to be very careful how you do it and how you trade it. But yeah, there you go. That's the answer to your question.
Again, guys, you heard it here first on our YouTube channel. Please don't take this as financial advice. But we had a question last week. If you watched the episode, Adele was rubbing the crystal ball, and she was asking, "What's the?"
I told you I researched this before, and it's true. So,
I
Dunny,
think
if you want to add that into your trading group, I can
That's
certainly
just
talk
like-
about full moons and new moons.
It seems like we could go there. People already think we're stupid. No, it's not stupid. We're weird, but
No, I
To
mean,
be honest,
never mind, man.
there's a whole subset of
There's-
traders who basically follow astronomy and astrology, but we're not in the sense of like not in the sense of like I'm wearing like crystals around my neck and stuff like this, but literally like the science of astronomy and the movement of the stars and the suns and gravitational forces and applying that to trading. And the full moon, new moon is one of those, and there's other stuff out there. I've never looked into it in detail, but I know it exists.
Steve, what happens under a lunar eclipse or a solar eclipse? Because we got one coming in December.
Yeah, you're fucked, man.
yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah, I know. All the listen, I'd say short before it happens because the whole thing's going to go down. If you get a CME,
all these traders, this subgroup of traders, they don't have information because everything is black. Yeah.
yeah, if the screens go down, you're pretty much stuffed. So I would say exit out beforehand and get the cash in your hands in physical cash if you're going to have like electrical outages.
Let's just take 30 seconds for Steve to mark the next full moon. That is November 30th.
Oh, I've already got it for you. You want that too? I was already prepared. I knew you were going to ask the question. I was ready for you.
John, what was the question you asked? I think your question was the wittiest
So the
comment
next
ever.
full moon-
What happens to
This
a
is not
lunar?
financial advice, guys. Let me say it on behalf. This is not financial advice, but I just want to see if 30th November is a good entry time.
Well, right now, the new moon's up here on the 16th of November.
Oh, I
We
can't see
can't
it.
see your chart.
Oh, you can't see my screen? Oh, is
Not
it
yet.
too high?
Okay, here you go. Here you go. Sorry, guys.
Okay.
Here you go. So it's gonna
So
come back down, man.
Let me see. So I'll just draw this in because I know the 30th of. Let me see, where is it at? It's like the 30th of November is the next full moon. So let's just draw a line here just so we can see that. So basically, if you look at this, if we're going by the pattern of. Oh, hang on, that didn't draw. Come on.
Few
There you go. All right.
or
Cool.
eight.
So if I'm just going to go by the pattern of full moons are lows and new moons are highs, so low, high, then the opposite is also true, high, and then it has to go low, right? So we need to have some sort of movement this direction as well in theory, and then it can go up again.
Yeah.
So there's got to be a moon here someplace that'll be lower. I don't know where lower is, but ironically, I just drew it here and it's 15091. I'm not saying that's where it's going because Danny will hold me to it, but
For the record, Steve, the December 14th is when the solar eclipse is going to happen.
the solar eclipse.
When?
Solar eclipse on the 14th, yeah.
Well, and that's
December.
another. And interestingly enough, isn't that also
December
on
14th.
a? That's also a new. It's another. Hang on. So this one's here is the so that's going to be a new moon as well.
December 14th. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, nice.
It's a new
But if
moon.
it's a solar eclipse on a new moon, we won't see it because it'll be behind this. It'll be behind us when we're right.
This is only for Bitcoin, right, guys? I mean, does it happen across all markets?
So
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does. Yeah, it
Not
does.
even
This
financial
is,
advice.
this is not just for crypto. This is for other markets as well. That the same thing holds true. Yes.
so, I
Yeah,
mean,
I
you
was
can
watching a
find-
trader that was doing this on euro dollar and on USD GBP. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, wow, I didn't realize people did that. But yeah, sorry, John.
Yeah, so I mean, I was just going to add to that, Steve. Yeah, I mean, you can actually find papers. They've done a lot of research. The moon seems to, moon trading is really good for silver, the silver market, because
And
gold
cheese.
is like the sun, silver like the moon. Who knows? But I mean, it's
This is
like,
so-
like there's some sort of connection.
Adele, I
there.
hope you're
There's-
learning new
there's
things, new
spirit.
things here, right?
No,
I hope we don't
there's
feel like
still-
we didn't want to let you down,
moon-
Adele.
Astrology
you opened up
and moon.
and trading, right? You opened up a can of worms, man, Adele, last week. Because I'm like, the guys now are like, you're hearing it first on this channel, guys. So I hope you guys, we are not boring you guys with all this chat about astrology and full moon
Listen,
and how
Leslie, in all
correlation with
fairness, we
trading.
want to give people as many ways to think about how to trade as they want, because like the pattern I showed you this earlier about this 145 in the day pump every day that's gone on for like the last 2 weeks. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Adele, you missed that, but I identified it every day at around 130, 145 Singapore time, Malaysian time. The market seems to decide that it wants to pump up. So it drops first and then pumps. And it's been doing it every single day. And it's like, okay, well, fair enough. If you want to do that, I'll play with you.
That's lunchtime. That's lunchtime in Singapore itself. It could.
Well,
it
it's
could
just
be
after lunch. So people go to lunch, come back, buy Bitcoin, and then they dump it an hour later. I don't know.
It has to be Dunstan, man.
Scalp trading.
Were you the one? He just woke up at that time, right, Dunstan?
No, nowadays I wake up even later.
Wow.
Yeah. You've been quiet, Adele. I hope you're learning some stuff. So if you got any questions for the experts in the group, pertaining to Bitcoin's pricing, going up to 18,000. Dunstan made mention in his Facebook channel to actually you mentioned something about selling and buying back or something like that. I remember that I think a few days ago, or was it today that you sent out that
No, I think it was like early in the morning or something like that. I was having a chat with Aaron. I think it was in some group chat or whatever. So yeah, so I just said that I decided to start selling BTC, and then once it drops, I start buying back again. Yeah.
And interestingly enough, the group chat itself, I saw someone saying there's Darth Maul's lightsaber came out because it was double-ended red. For you the cause of it.
I mean, this just makes me feel so much better, because as the price, I was just talking to my neighbor who was also in tech, and he is saying that his wife bought a Bitcoin and has been holding on to it, and I'm like, well, maybe it's a good time to just take profit. And they're like, no, we're just gonna hold on to that one Bitcoin.
No, just hold on to it, man. For
It's gonna
most
be
people,
difficult
right?
for you to
Yeah.
buy one Bitcoin,
Yeah, don't trade in case you miss any of these pumps. I don't mind, because like this is a good price for me in my long term thing. But
Anything would be a good price.
yeah, for most people, right, I recommend like zero trading, man. Just bloody buy the Bitcoin, keep it in your cold storage, and keep the key somewhere, and that's it. And make sure your kids don't tear the paper. So yeah.
But because I stole it, as I told you guys weeks and weeks ago, I'm not holding any, and every week I'm just like, when will I see a Bitcoin again? And then now knowing that, if you are saying that you'll buy them back, then I feel a lot better.
Well, Adele, you'll never actually see a Bitcoin, just so we're clear, right?
Okay.
Yeah, and I really did sell. I don't know whether I am the Darth Vader like that red bar or something like that, but I did sell my portion. Darth Ball. Yeah, but I did sell my portion. Yeah.
The indicator, right? The candlestick was like, is this supposed to go up or is it supposed to go down? They can't decide basically. But it was red because it came down from the high of 18,000 plus basically. So yeah. Well, you did affect some percentage, but there was a comment that mentioned how much Bitcoins do you need to have in your wallet to affect the percentage of the market to go actually take a dip basically. So
5%.
How much? 5% of the entire amount?
Yeah, so if you want to be a market maker and not a liquidity provider, you need more or less 5% of the current asset in any market. So yeah, minimally you need 5%.
So here's a question, Dunstan. They will every time this is a trend, right? So Bitcoin's price goes up. The next thing we see is altcoins going up again. So is this still the month that is gonna be an November? Because we had seen in initial pump in the beginning of the month.
Yeah, but we finished that. We finished our selling of alts, right? yeah, there were people that claim that you know, like the odds are not gonna pump. They pump, and we sold it. So yeah, good for us, bad for them. So
There's always one side on the other. What I'm saying is that we've got till 12 more days before the end of November. Will we
whether or
see?
not there'll be another alt
yeah.
run, is it?
Yeah.
Is that the
Yep, that's the
question?
question. Yeah. If you don't mind sharing, man. Okay,
yeah,
let's hold the answer with 10 minutes. Let's just play along. For those who want to know, whether this is going to be another odd run before the end of November, please type in comments, and say, please tell us the secret, or is there going to be an odd run at the end? I want to know. Just say I want to know on if you're still tuning in, basically. Right, so
Yeah, for those that want to know, please Google me also, so that help my ratings. Yeah.
Self-promotion, as always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know Bitcoin hit 18.
Yeah, you've been dreaming,
Did
man.
you just wake up?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just starting to look at it. I have nothing to sell. So
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. She's trying to wait for them.
Yeah.
Wait for a chance to buy,
Right.
not
Wanna
waiting to sell, man.
buy. Like promo just keeps going up. I gotta get it now. And then like what?
Yeah. Adele, like I said, man, every month please take 10% of what you're willing to invest and buy BTC. Don't need to bother with trading, man.
Just stack it up. Stack it up.
Yeah, you are not gonna regret it in the next 10 years if you just follow
So-
this one advice and stack it up, man.
So Adele, I'm just gonna share this as with what I've shared all these times, many times, and it's always been the same thing. Be it when you started, right? This is the price, right? In December last year, 2019. Let's look at the whole chart, right? So the W is happening over here. So this is in 2018, right? In December. So November, that's 2 years ago.
We
Price
can't
was
see
at
your screen,
5,000. Oh, you can't see the screen? Yeah, there you go. I was talking to myself. Yes. Tech,
Signs
right?
of a madman right there.
Yeah. There you go. Okay. So the thing is, if you are in November last year, 2018, and that's like, well, we'll just take 13, right? So that's 6,400. If you had $6,400 USD, you could buy one Bitcoin, right? So the next thing itself, when we go into November 19th, it went up to about 8,000 plus. All right, so you needed another $1,000 more just to buy Bitcoin itself. Today's price is at 16,000, right, or 18,000 as you mentioned, and that's just doubling up basically. And you need to have extra cash just to buy that one Bitcoin. So if we had just consistently just buy Bitcoin, I think we would have accumulated more than one Bitcoin along the way. And right now you are going to be asset rich.
Leslie, go back to 2016 and show us the price there.
Oh, shut up! That was when I started, man. Shut up, man. I regret. Okay, so don't shut up, man. Yeah, there you go, guys.
The same shit that happened to him. He's now telling you all to do it, man.
Yeah, I started at $750, man. What? So I didn't listen. I got scared. I dumped it when it was here. So yeah, and I was happy. I was like, yeah, I made some money, and then I could never come back in. to an all-time low. So yeah, thanks, Steve, for rubbing salt into the wound. Thank you.
I was only looking for the price, not for what happened to you personally. But thanks for sharing that publicly.
Yeah. So Dustin, before we close, yes, the public wants to know which coins or will there be an alt run
Gotta be the dummy coin, right?
Well, yeah, maybe I should print one NFT, man. Please buy. Yes, I totally believe that there's gonna be a short alt run. It's not gonna be a long alt run. Like the last one that happened somewhere, maybe at the first or second week.
Beginning of November.
Yeah. So it's gonna be a short run because like Bitcoin dominance is gonna increase. There's way too much FOMO coming into the market. Crazy people are coming in. You see like billionaires, literal billionaires are coming into the market to like to buy BTC, and obviously they are not gonna wait and try to buy, but what they are gonna do is they're gonna buy it via the OTC. Then they're gonna shield it, because they are not gonna buy it via the where it will affect the prices on the exchange. It's just pure stupid,
definitely.
right?
Yeah.
So all these private deals are happening right now. For those that don't believe the private deals are happening, next year you'll start seeing a lot more billionaires shitting Bitcoin. I've been warning you all. So after they start shitting, it's way too late for you, man.
Yeah, look at this, man. Game of Thrones, Maisie Williams, right?
Oh yeah,
this is so damn cool, because you know what I was thinking? I was like,
Really, 54%
imagine, yeah, imagine her saying out all the coins, all the altcoins. She will be the bachelor, right?
Should be the number one. Should be a number one influencer, man. I'm gonna like ask her and start training her and see whether she wants to be one of my influencers too, man.
Super cool, man.
Yeah,
it was like super cool when I saw this. I was like, damn. Yeah.
You guys what book is that?
Sorry?
Did you guys talk about whether it would break 20? Because that's what
No. Do you want yeah, ask the question. We've still got 5 minutes more, man. Yeah. John's here, Steve's here, Dunstan's here. 3 of the best guys that I know that can tell you TA and FA. So yeah. Well, Adele asked the question. John, you want to take a shot at it? Stab in the dark. This is obviously not financial advice again. The disclaimer is going out again. So please be prudent and do your own due diligence.
When is it going to break 20? Or
will it hit 20?
Will it break 20? Will it break its all-time high? Which is basically break 20, right? Which is what some of the news are saying that.
Oh, it definitely will. But the question is, in my opinion, it will. But the question is, when?
So I think a more specific question would be, will it hit 20 this year?
Yeah, by end of this year.
Yeah, I mean that's the question I'm asking myself. I mean, we'll see how it goes, right?
Well, everyone's jumping onto the question, right? So
at this rate, no, I mean at the rate of the last few days, you know, we could break it in by the weekend. You know what I mean? But it can't keep going up like that, like in a straight line. Once it's parabolic, then we have to have some sort of consolidation. Does that happen below? I think it happens below 20K. I think you know, we have some sideways action, maybe some lower action, and then another, you know, people have to, you know, the market needs to balance out again, and then it will run up. That's my honest opinion. I don't think it's going to break 20K tomorrow or the day after, but I think it could happen before year end, but it'll definitely happen early next year.
Right. Steve, your thoughts?
I honestly have no idea, because this pump is so off the scale. You know, the reality is, we need some sort of we need to build a base here, which basically means a lot of people buying and it stays at a stable price for a while and goes sideways. But if it doesn't, I could easily see it just touching 20K just for a couple seconds and retreating. The problem is then it's going to retreat because of
way back.
Well, that's where the 13.2 number I said last week, I still stand by that it could come all the way back down to that range. And I think Dunny said 13.198 just to be controversial. So we have a $2 bet going right now. But it could hit 20K this year, but it could hit 25K this year, or it could just kind of slow down, go sideways, come back on down to 15K and stay between 15 and 18. Everything's possible, but because it's parabolic, we don't have the ability from a chart perspective to give good technical analytical answers, because when things go parabolic, they don't make sense on a chart. So you have to kind of wait for the chart to go back to normal, which is where the fundamentals kick in, and you go, look, Citibank saying this, JP Morgan saying this, Deutsche Bank saying this, and if the banks are all saying something, then all you have is FOMO and hype, and of course they're going to cash out while it pumps up, because that's where the retailers follow and get burned. So we have to be really careful and look for all the fundamental news right now, in light of the fact that the charts don't make sense And if it does sell off, don't be surprised. But then just hold on when it does that, and it'll continue going back up again. That's when it sells off. That's when the institutional guys will jump back in and buy more, and they'll start pushing it back up.
Yeah, that's really, I think that's a very mature way of handling the market. Thanks, Steve. If it's something that I've learned over the years, this is definitely something that every
don't get burned like a retailer. If the banks are saying it, it means they've already gone in.
Yeah, in the words
so you have to be really
Dunstan,
careful.
Yeah, in the words of Dunstan many years ago, and he taught me this. Thanks, Dunstan. If you have one Bitcoin is one Bitcoin. 5 years ago, it was one Bitcoin. Today, it's still one Bitcoin. So it don't matter how much is one Bitcoin. That's the fact. Yeah, yeah. Dunstan, your final words before we close. Well, Rico's joining in. I can see. he's FOMOing the shit out of everyone now.
Yeah, man, everything's possible. It could go to 38K. I mean, earlier in the year, I said it might go to 50, and I regret that now. But
okay, Rico, in our fund, in our crypto fund, how many percent? How many percent of our fund is BTC right now?
Yeah.
So if it's gonna be more than 20, then let's push it to like 38K, right? But
is that Rico?
That's Rico.
Oh, Rico, you're just such a degen. Why don't you get on the channel with us and stop stirring the shit? Oh no, sorry, that's Gunny's job.
No. He's dealing with other people on the other channel. So he's going in the Satoshi's club. Can you see this? He's as degenerate as he gets. Thanks for joining us.
We gotta merge the groups together and have like Singapore Coffee Club meets the Satoshi Club.
Yeah, we should do that, man. Yeah, Rico, we should meet up together, as in get the two groups to meet up together. Thanks, man. Rico's saying this.
Hey Rico, how much? How many percent of BTC we have in the fund right now?
He's not gonna tell you on publicly, bro. That would be stupid of us.
Yeah, then at least I know what I want to call, so that the price will pump or fall, right?
Do it privately and send it to our chat group, man, bro. Yeah. All right, man. We have a friend called Annie. Yes, that's right. Thanks, Rico, for the shout out. Yeah. Cool, man. Thanks for the shout out, Enrico. Thanks for joining us on the channel. I think that's all we have for the show. Thank everyone for joining in. Adele, it's always been a pleasure. Although you always make an effort to keep coming in. Just ask questions, man. Adele, don't be afraid. These guys are not here to bite you. Even if they do, I'll smack them with a cane. Like hey, down, boys. So
Steve,
just ask.
Steve and I have a moon thing going on right now.
Thanks for asking that, man. You heard it here first on this channel, on the moon, the astrology, and on the trading charts, and what Steve has showed us. Those make really, really good, interesting comments or content itself. Thank you all for joining us on a Wednesday nights. John, it's always good to see you as well. Do join us again. At anytime. It's going to be Christmas soon, so I think everyone's in the holiday mood already. Cash out some Bitcoins now, get some holiday season, but get some holiday spending money. And
please don't cash out your Bitcoin.
Not all.
Yeah,
take out small amount just because.
Fiat is worthless. Bitcoin is of value.
Yeah.
So all the fiat that you have is gonna get even more worthless throughout the day. So just keep your Bitcoins. Keep buying them. Help keep the prices high. Make the billionaires happy, and So become one of us, man. Right? Don't be.
You have been wearing a mask when you say that, bro.
Yeah, we need to get like DGen shirts for this show.
I need to buy back cards, right? Dunstan?
You buy at any price. Just buy at the start of the month. Please keep buying.
Steve, I think the t-shirt is a good idea. Let's do that, man. A degen for the DeFi Singapore community and see. Well, we've got to keep this channel alive, right? So let's sell some merchandise. Adele, if you want to join, let us know how we're going to do it.
Okay, we will be serious. We will set up a Telegram, a subscription. Whoever wants to come in, they want signals, they want private access to tokens, to projects and so on. Yeah, so just
That's on Dani, man.
pay us
Not
one
on us.
BTC every month. So yeah.
Yeah, that's cool, man. All right, man. Thanks all for every Wednesday nights. It's always been a pleasure with you guys. Thank you for joining us. Good night to everyone. Thank you all for joining us. Yeah, see you.
Yeah. Good night.
Good night,
Cheers,
everyone.
guys.
Thank you.
Ciao.